Hello. Hello, hello. It is Saturday, September the 25th. It is 8:55 a.m. and just on the morning. We call this the morning show. Hey guys, how's everybody doing? Hopefully everyone slept better than I did yesterday. I didn't have a great because I was in this place of fear and anxiety and in my head, which I shared some last night, but it's about this morning, not about yesterday, which was a carryover from well, I guess yesterday was early morning. Um, so I got up this morning. I did my usual meditation. I listened to you version of Bible verses, and it's really hard trying not to be in fear and not to allow myself to be seduced by the thoughts in my head or be seduced by my feelings. You know, it can be tough. And so this morning I got up and I did my usual stuff, which I actually I feel better. I feel somewhat better. I have an issue. I have a problem with surrendering to my meditation and the prayer and really letting things go. Because and be honest with you, this is really about me. Allow myself to focus on someone else. If I have to be honest, because feelings are they are a bitch. Because you don't know who's gonna move you, who's gonna touch you, especially this thing when it comes to the heart and all that stuff. You just don't know where you're gonna go. You think you have some control, and then you realize you don't have any control. You know what I mean? Like I'm sitting here. I'm in my own headspace. I'm thinking about this. I'm worried about work. I'm worried about this, and then here I am thinking about my feelings for my friend, which is bringing me more suffering because I can't manage to let that go, and I keep wanting to live in that spot because I keep thinking, why am I living in that spot? What's the payoff for me? Allowing myself to stay in that spot to where I'm uncomfortable. I'm thinking about what he's doing, who is he with, and so and so and so and so. So I'm living in this constant fear, and so I'm thinking, what am I getting out of this? Why can't I just let this go? Now we've had our conversations about this, about being friends, whatever. But yeah, and I realized that it's still part of me playing the victim, or convincing myself that I'm not lovable or worth it. And I'm not going to find someone who values me and sees me and want to be with me. And so I realized that, this is what this is. This is, once again, you think it's about the person. And as you get older and you learn to stand in your truth and your honesty. So that's what this is about today. This is about truth and honesty and standing in your truth and honesty, no matter how painful or discomfort it may be. Understand? So, here I am with these feelings for a friend who's a great guy. And the feelings came, they did come out of left field. And I've shared about this 100 times, how, this and how I'm thinking that, this is my guy and we're going to get, but they came out of left field. It also came in a moment of, I think anytime this stuff comes up for me, I always feel like it comes at a moment of loneliness. And so I am in the process of trying to live in that truth and also understand that it's a process. and I can't control who I attracted to or who I have feelings for. But what I can control is how I respond to things and how I live in the moment. And I'm choosing to be victim. I'm choosing to play the heartbreak where nobody wants me, or this and well, nobody, that he doesn't want me, and this and that. And I realized that that's an old song. I mean, that's how I lived most of my life, in that feeling like I'm, and I have to remember that no, I'm an awesome guy, and I know that. There's no answer for buts. There's no answer for buts. I'm a good guy. I'm a good friend. I'm loyal. I'm honest. I'm attractive. I'm good looking. I take good care of myself. So I have to keep reminding myself that I have a lot of attributes. I really do. And I have to remember that I'm right where I need to be at in this moment. God has put me where I need to be at. And I know all this stuff that I'm feeling is about my journey, about my process. It's about me standing in my truth and my honesty. In every aspect of my life. You know what I mean? I'm in recovery, and I won't deny that. I'm in the program, coming up on 2 years of sobriety. And it's a process. It is a process. It is a journey. I've had some time before that. I had 7 years, and then I chose to, as I stated before earlier, to, what we do. And I have to understand this is a process. And I know all this stuff that's coming at me with my feelings and me being in love with my unsponsy brother and all this stuff. I know that's also part of the process for me, because I have a tendency to allow my emotions to dictate me, to allow my emotions to control me. And I begin to think they are the story. You know what I mean? And I realize that they aren't the story. They're part of the story, a small part of the story. They aren't the story. And this guy that I have feelings for may not even be the right guy for me. I mean, I don't know. You know what I mean? And I have to understand that there's nothing wrong with being friends. And so I have to ease in the process. I have to ease in the process. And just know that I'm not alone in this process. I'm not alone. So, and it's tough. It's really, really tough. It is tough. It is tough trying to stand in your honesty and your truth. And plus I have these things where I get into my head. I start creating scenarios and this and that. Same thing I'm doing with this. He's hanging out with this person. He's doing this. This person came to visit him and this and that. And it's just crazy. I have to go back to, what am I getting out of this suffering? Because I have trained myself to be motivated by my suffering. I have trained myself to find comfort in my suffering, because I believed, and I still believe, that I am my suffering. And without suffering, I cannot be happy and I cannot find freedom. And that is not the case. That is not the case. So I have to be willing to walk in the truth and honesty in every aspect. And I'm doing that. I'm walking in the fire, and I'm asking all kinds of questions. When I find myself feeling inadequate, I'm asking, okay, what's going on? When I find myself, I'm in my head or thinking of the spirit, okay, what's going on? When I find myself connecting with people that I know are not good for me, I'm like, okay, what is going on? When I find myself hanging out with people or in a circle of people, I'm like, well, this is not This is not good. This is not going to help me in my salvation. This is not going to help me in my freedom. This is not going to help me in my recovery. I can't not be in recovery if I'm not willing to be in the truth and the honesty of myself. If I'm hanging out with the same people, places, and things, or I have a through line to all of that, especially now, that maybe after you've had 15, 10 years, maybe you can, have some friends or keep some connections of old and be in, when you've created a foundation. But right now, I'm a newbie. So I have to guard my recovery. I have to protect my recovery. And the way I protect it and guard it is I have to live in honesty and truth. Tell me one good thing about having these feelings for this guy. It's allowing me, because I believe the universe gives you what you need. And every experience you have is the universe reflecting back at you, telling you who you are and what you believe. It is. It's the universe reflecting back at you who you are and what you believe and what your belief system is. Every experience, I believe that. Some people may think that's great, but I believe that now. That every experience I have had, no matter how small or minute or how big, it was about me. And it was a reflection about how I was feeling about myself. And that's why I was experiencing having those moments or meeting those people, because they were a reflection of what I believed I was worth, what I believed I deserved. So if you are a gay man and you find yourself in parks and doing all this sexual scandalous stuff, think about that. You're in the parks, you're doing all that. You're hiding, you're sneaking, you're hooking up with strangers. That is a reflection of how you see yourself. That is the universe reflecting this is the world you believe in. And a lot of that stuff is not because you enjoy it. People may convince themselves, I just like doing it. And there may be some people who can live in their truth, be honest, have that kind of behavior, but that behavior isn't controlling them. There's a difference. There's a difference in doing something you like, but it's not controlling you, and it's not coming from a place where you feel less than. And that is part of your worth. But I don't think you can do those things if your worth is of high value. I could be wrong, but I don't think you can do those things in the parks and for most people. Like I said, there are some people who may be able to do that, who respect themselves. It's not controlling them. It's something they enjoy doing. It's there are some people who can do that. Just like there are some people who can work in the sex industry and have a good, healthy relationship with the sex industry. They're not drinking and doing drugs. It's not controlling them. It's something they really enjoy. It brings out the best in them. Yeah, I do believe there are people who can do that. But most people are doing that because that's how they value themselves. And I think if you have real value and worth for yourself, there's certain things that your spirit and soul won't let you do. So I am trying to, and I get so many great, for my friend he's also my sponsor, brother, plus my sponsor, the network. I get so many great messages and words of encouragement from my friends. And I'm at this point now where I'm soaking up all that stuff. Because it's important for me